Robert Reich is a professor of public policy at the University of California at Berkeley. He was the Secretary of Labor in the Clinton administration. Time magazine named him one of the 10 most effective cabinet secretaries of the last century. He has written 13 books, including a new e-book, Beyond Outrage, which is the shortest and certainly the cheapest at $2.99. Bob, great to have you here. We talk a lot, but we don't get to talk in person a whole lot. Let's talk about this book, first of all. You say that for 3 decades, almost all the gains for economic growth in America, which have been substantial, have filtered up to the top 1%. In fact, at one point you refer to the top 1% of the top 1%.
Yeah, and this is not a matter of class warfare, Ali. I mean, for the first 3 decades after the Second World War, it was very different. Productivity gains were widely distributed. The bottom 20% got a big piece of those productivity gains. And then something happened in the late 70s. Having to do with globalization, having to do with technological change, the decline of labor unions, all of that resulted in a very different distribution of the gains from productivity, and we've seen the results.
Does that mean the 2 main things that changed productivity in labor, as you said, technological gain and globalization, are they wrong? Were they bad?
No, they're good. I mean, we all gain from productivity, but the problem is only a few of us has actually gained most from productivity gains. In fact, the latest research shows that in 2010, for example, 93% of the gains from all of the economic growth that went on, not huge economic growth, but whatever economic growth we had, went to the top 1%. That means not only a question of fairness is created, but also a problem for the economy, because the top 1% don't spend nearly as much of their income as the middle.
Well, let me ask you this. When you say fairness, this is actually going to become a big issue in the election about fairness. What's fair? Should we be thinking about our economic gains and fairness with respect to others? Should the 99 be thinking about it with respect to the 1, or should we be thinking about it in terms of the last 30 years or 50 years? Am I further ahead than I was?
Well,
look,
both are going on. When somebody kind of asks themselves, is the economy fair? What they're asking themselves is, am I doing better? Am I working harder? Am I seeing the results of my work? But also, are the gains from growth being distributed in such a way? Are the people at the top that are, like CEOs? My company, my CEO, earning $25 or $30 million. My job is on the line, my benefits are decreasing, my median wage is actually decreasing. That feels unfair to me. And that sense of unfairness cannot help but infect somebody's attitude toward the broader economy.
It then becomes subjective, right? What is fair? How much should that CEO be earning? What should the 1% be doing? Where do we fit into figuring the answer out to?
Well, there are 2 ways. One, we can look at the past. We can say, look, this is wildly different from what it was over the last 50 years. We can also look at the economy overall. I mean, the problem is that when you have the top 1% getting so much of the economy, there's not enough purchasing power in the rest of the economy to keep the economy going. And the top 1% would do better with a smaller share of a rapidly growing economy than the current large share of an economy that's basically struggling to grow.